She thought we were models in a dress shop. Mary kept her in a swell school.
Lights, camera, and a whole lot of heartbreak. Welcome back to Hollywood Secrets, where we're taking a look at the worst divorces of the golden age of cinema. This isn't your typical Hollywood script. It's the real, raw, and gripping truth behind the glitz and glamour. Let's get started.
Nice work, Marilyn. And the same to you, Joe.
Number 5, Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio. In 1952, retired baseball legend Joe DiMaggio, seeking more than the glory of his past home runs, sought out the rising star Marilyn Monroe. In her autobiography, My Story, Monroe admitted her initial reluctance, fearing the typical arrogance often associated with athletes. Little did she know that this chance meeting would mark the beginning of a love story destined for both fame and heartbreak. Their romance played out amidst the challenges of a long-distance relationship, with Monroe in the West and DiMaggio in the East. Despite their best efforts to keep their love private, the media soon caught wind of their high-profile affair. The climax of their courtship came in January 1954 at San Francisco City Hall, where they eloped amid a frenzy of fans and photographers. Monroe defied convention by wearing a dark brown suit with a white fur collar, while DiMaggio opted for a plain suit. They stood together outside the Church of Saints Peter and Paul, as a formal church ceremony was not possible due to their previous marriages. In her autobiography, Monroe revealed their shared dreams, including a desire to have children despite her battle with endometriosis. But beneath the surface of their seemingly harmonious relationship, tensions were brewing. DiMaggio's possessiveness and jealousy clashed with Monroe's demanding film schedule, paving the way for a tumultuous journey. Their tensions were evident during their honeymoon in Japan, where Monroe's dedication to entertaining American troops in South Korea during the Korean War left her new husband dissatisfied. DiMaggio's dissatisfaction with her commitment to work foreshadowed the disintegration of their union. DiMaggio's discomfort with Monroe's universal appeal exacerbated the tensions in their relationship. The breaking point came during the filming of The 7-Year Itch, which famously featured Monroe's iconic flying skirt scene. Encouraged by director Billy Wilder, fans and photographers cheered Monroe on, much to DiMaggio's dismay. A public confrontation ensued, exposing the cracks in their marriage. In October 1954, after filming in New York City, Monroe returned to Los Angeles and filed for divorce from DiMaggio, citing mental cruelty. Their marriage, once a symbol of promise and love, crumbled after only 9 months. In the years that followed, Monroe navigated the maze of love, marrying renowned playwright Arthur Miller in 1956, only to divorce him again in 1961. During the first half of 1961, Monroe faced significant challenges, undergoing surgery, including one for her endometriosis, and spending 4 weeks in a New York psychiatric hospital for depression. It was during this difficult period that an unexpected development took place. Monroe and DiMaggio renewed their friendship, with the former baseball star supporting her through her struggles. DiMaggio, who was then working as a batting coach for the Yankees in Florida, played a comforting role, facilitating her release and offering comfort. Despite their renewed bond, hopes of a romantic reconciliation remained unfulfilled. Then on the 5th of August 1962, tragedy struck when Monroe, aged 36, died of a barbiturate overdose at her home in Los Angeles. Although her death was officially ruled a suicide, the circumstances remain a mystery. Devastated by her loss, DiMaggio, along with Monroe's half-sister Bernice Baker Miracle and business manager Inez Melson, took charge of the funeral arrangements. The service, held on the 8th of August at Westwood Village Memorial Park Cemetery, was a poignant farewell to the woman who captured hearts both on and off the silver screen. Number 4, Debbie Reynolds and Eddie Fisher. In the glamorous 1950s era of Hollywood, Debbie Reynolds and Eddie Fisher shone as the golden couple. Their courtship and marriage hailed as the sweetest love story ever told, enchanting fans and industry insiders alike. However, as is often the case in Tinseltown, their fairy tale took a dramatic turn, and the unraveling of the Fisher-Reynolds dream cast a shadow over the headlines. The story began with the tragic death of Elizabeth Taylor's husband, Mike Todd, in 1958. At the time, Reynolds and Fisher were not only Hollywood colleagues, but also close friends of the grieving Taylor. Little did Reynolds know that this heartbreaking event would set the stage for one of the most public and scandalous breakups in Hollywood history. Shortly after Todd's death, rumors of an affair between Taylor and Fisher, previously trusted friends, surfaced. What had once been a close-knit trio of friends became embroiled in a love triangle that captured the public's imagination. The unfolding drama was seen by some as the most significant domestic tragedy since the legendary split between Douglas Fairbanks Sr. and America's sweetheart, Mary Pickford. The climax of this tumultuous love affair came when Debbie Reynolds, after a year of contemplation, agreed to a quick divorce, allowing Eddie Fisher to embark on his second marriage, this time to Elizabeth Taylor. The scandalous love triangle captivated the nation and turned the trio's private lives into box office gold. In the aftermath of the divorce, the financial stakes were high for all concerned. Debbie Reynolds, now the discarded wife, found herself in high demand, with her appearance fees skyrocketing from $125,000 to an impressive $250,000 per film. On the other hand, Elizabeth Taylor, as the new Mrs. Fisher, commanded fees ranging from $500,000 to an unprecedented $1,000. It was a lucrative spectacle, fueled by the tabloid scandal. Meanwhile, Eddie Fisher, the man at the center of the storm, saw his career suffer. Once the star of his own TV show, he found himself relegated to the nightclub circuit and a supporting role in MGM's Butterfield 8, a film that also starred his ex-wife, Elizabeth Taylor. Talks of a new TV show continued, but the scandal had left an indelible mark on his once promising career. In the realm of Hollywood, where private lives are often as scripted as the films themselves, the Fisher-Reynolds-Taylor saga remains a poignant reminder of the intertwining of fame, friendship, and the high price of public scandal. Number 3, Humphrey Bogart and Mayo Methot. In the smoky haze of old Hollywood, Humphrey Bogart and Mayo Methot emerged as a magnetic couple, drawing attention not only to their love, but also to the storms that brewed within their relationship. Bogart was enchanted by Methot's ability to tickle his funny bone and found joy in their shared laughter. But their relationship was anything but a fairy tale. The spotlight that illuminated their love story also cast shadows on the darker aspects of their union. In addition to their passion for each other, the two shared a deep affinity for alcohol. The press, hungry for drama, dubbed them the battling Bogarts. The pressures of fame, combined with their personal struggles, created a volatile mix that played out in public. Reports and documents hinted at a darker side, suggesting that Bogart was no stranger to violence, while Methot, known for her fiery personality, met violence with violence. Their drinking binges fueled arguments and contributed to the stormy atmosphere synonymous with the battling Bogarts. Their Hollywood home, Sluggy Hollow, was the scene of many conflicts. In one notorious incident, Methot stabbed Bogart in the shoulder. On another occasion, the couple exchanged blows to the head amid the clinking of whiskey bottles. Actress Gloria Stewart vividly recalled a dinner party where Methot, fueled by alcohol, brandished a pistol and threatened to shoot Bogart. Their relationship, marked by passion and turbulence, became a legend in the annals of old Hollywood, reflecting the complex interplay of love, fame, and personal demons in the lives of its stars. The public only glimpsed a fraction of the turmoil between Humphrey Bogart and Mayo Methot. Methot often bore visible bruises on her face, stark evidence of the physical confrontations that marked their volatile relationship. Bogart was not immune to the storm either, once ripping Methot's dress off in the heat of a confrontation. The couple separated and reconciled several times during their marriage. The turning point came on the set of the 1944 film To Have and Have Not. Bogart, then in the later stages of his career, crossed paths with Lauren Bacall, a radiant presence 25 years his junior. Their on-screen chemistry spilled over into the real world when Bogart, smitten by Bacall, leaned forward, lifted her chin, and sealed their fate with a kiss captured for posterity by the New York Times. News of this budding romance reached Methot, Bogart's estranged wife, like an unwelcome gust of wind. Battling alcoholism, she became a frequent visitor to the set, silently witnessing the affair unravel her marriage. Bogart, torn between past and present, tried to salvage his union with Methot, but the allure of Bacall proved formidable. On the 19th of October 1944, Bogart announced his departure from the marital home, seemingly resigned to an inevitable separation. But just 11 days later, in a surprising twist, Bogart and Methot had reconciled. With his trademark wit, Bogart joked about returning to their normal battles, navigating the complexities of love and commitment in the spotlight of Hollywood's golden age. The storm of their relationship continued unabated. On the 3rd of December 1944, Mayo Methot announced that Humphrey Bogart had once again left her home. The die was cast, signaling the imminent end of the tumultuous marriage between Bogart and Methot. In the aftermath of their stormy relationship, the Bogart-Bacall affair emerged unscathed. Love seemed to overcome all obstacles. Bogart's divorce from Methot was finalized in 1945, and in the same year he exchanged vows with Lauren Bacall. Their love lasted until the final curtain fell on Bogart's life in 1957. Number 2. Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks. Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks had an unconventional start to their relationship, both being married when their paths first crossed. However, their union in 1920 elevated them to the revered status of the king and queen of Hollywood during the silent film era, symbolizing glamour and success. By the late 1920s, shadows were looming over their once golden marriage. The death of Mary's mother in 1928 plunged the star into grief, and she turned to alcohol as a coping mechanism. In addition, the advent of the talkies posed a significant challenge as they navigated the evolving film industry. In the midst of these difficulties, seeds of mistrust began to grow, creating cracks in their seemingly unbreakable bond. Whispers of Douglas Fairbanks' flirtation with a teenage actress reached Mary Pickford, setting in motion a series of events that would irrevocably change their relationship. In a calculated move, Mary staged a scenario to provoke Fairbanks' jealousy, inadvertently leading him to believe she was unfaithful. This misunderstanding escalated into a destructive cycle of perceived betrayal. Fairbanks sought solace in a discreet life of excess, while Mary had an affair with a co-star. Their once solid bond shattered, and the era of the king and queen of Hollywood came to an inevitable end. In 1936, Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks divorced, closing a chapter that had epitomized Hollywood romance. Despite Fairbanks' attempts at reconciliation, he was haunted by the decisions that led to the dissolution of their legendary partnership. Number 1. Audrey Hepburn and Mel Ferrer. In the glamorous world of Hollywood, where dreams intertwine with reality, the love story of Audrey Hepburn and Mel Ferrer unfolds with a mixture of fame, romance, and eventual heartbreak. It all began in 1953 when Audrey Hepburn, just 24 years old, captured hearts with her starring role in Roman Holiday. Emerging as Hollywood's new darling, destined for greatness, she crossed paths with Mel Ferrer, an actor and director with a wealth of life experience, including 2 previous marriages, 4 children, and a significant age difference of 12 years more than Hepburn. They were introduced at a party celebrating the British premiere of Roman Holiday. Despite initial appearances, Hepburn and Farah quickly developed a deep connection. Their romance blossomed on Broadway in 1954, where they starred together in Ondine. Behind the scenes, their love story blossomed, culminating in their marriage at the end of the year. On the 25th of September 1954, Hepburn and Farah exchanged vows in a private ceremony in Switzerland, choosing to keep their union out of the public eye. At first, their marriage seemed to be a happy one, and they continued to work together professionally on the 1955 adaptation of Leo Tolstoy's War and Peace. Eager to expand her family, Audrey Hepburn suffered the first of several heartbreaking losses when she miscarried in 1955. Another tragedy followed in 1959 when she lost a second child after reportedly falling from a horse during the filming of The Unforgiven. In the years that followed, Hepburn suffered 2 more miscarriages, one in 1965 and another in 1967, weaving a tapestry of grief through her personal life. Despite these challenges, there were moments of joy amidst the sorrow. In the midst of their personal trials, Audrey and Mel found solace in the birth of their first and only child, Sean Hepburn Farrer, born on the 17th of July 1960. Dedicated to her family, Audrey had taken time off work during her pregnancy to prioritize the safety of her unborn son. While the arrival of their son would cement Hepburn and Farrer's status as Hollywood's golden couple, behind the scenes their marriage was far from easy. Despite Audrey's insistence that they were happy together for many years, Farrer was reportedly jealous and controlling. Film director Alfred Lunt once claimed, "Farrer used Audrey's love for him to dominate her with an iron fist." In a letter, Hepburn's mother even described Farah as a frog-faced delinquent with spindly legs and accused him of causing considerable disruption to her life. Audrey Hepburn's marriage to Mel Farah was marred by affairs on both sides. Hepburn had a secret relationship with her Sabrina co-star William Holden, who was also married at the time. She also reportedly had a dalliance with screenwriter Robert Anderson. Meanwhile, Farah was having his own extramarital affairs. Despite these challenges, Hepburn was reluctant to end the marriage, especially after the birth of their son, Sean. By the late 1960s, however, Hepburn realized that her 14-year romance with Farah had come to an end. They announced their divorce in November 1968. Hepburn would go on to remarry, but her next significant love would come over a decade later. That's a wrap, folks. Hollywood has seen its share of shocking divorces. Which one surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button. For more exclusive Hollywood content, subscribe to our channel. Until next time, stay tuned.